Can you hear me now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yay, they can hear me. Thanks, JR. All right, bye. All right, so again, we're on the record, August 3rd, 2020, Judge Wish, courtroom 1 into BRC 2, and I'll just have the parties announce themselves for the record again, because I have no idea whether that was actually on the record or not.
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Pedro Matos with the Public Defender.
Thank you. And I'm going to try and connect to the interpreter, so please answer.
And that was our problem over the weekend.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Alan Figueroa, Assistant Vice Spanish Court Interpreter.
Good morning, Mr. Figueroa. Have you been sworn in today?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Alan Figueroa, Assistant Vice Spanish Court Interpreter.
Thank you. And you are remoting into the BRC 2. So just let me know when the defendant can hear you.
The defendant can hear me, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Bush?
And, Your Honor, we do have some victims that are going to need the services
Okay.
of the interpreter
All right.
as well.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
Good morning, Ariana Cruz.
Ms. Cruz, you are here in 2020 CF 9258AO. It's an aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. And I believe we do have a witness here. And do you, Ms. Bush, do you need the interpreter as well, sir?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Okay. And you're very tall, so you're going to have to get a little closer to the microphone. I know it's awkward. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Javier Gomez Rodriguez.
All right. Mr. Gomez Rodriguez. Ms. Bush, did you wish to inquire?
Your Honor, first I just need clarification. Are we speaking on the Cruz Fernandez case?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez is not listed as a victim on the state's victim page.
Is it Javier Gomez Rodriguez?
Yes,
I
Your
think
Honor.
he has a second last name that maybe was not added. I'm showing victim Javier Gomez, first sentence, second sentence in the affidavit.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. They listed the defendant as the victim.
They did.
Yeah.
On
So,
the victim sheet, yes. But he's in the
Thank you.
affidavit, yeah.
Mr. Rodriguez, good morning.
Good morning.
What is your relationship with Miss Cruz Fernandez?
She's my girlfriend.
Do you all live together?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been in a relationship with
2
her?
years and a half.
And over the course of those 3.5 years, has there ever been any kind of violence that required law enforcement to come to the residence or to your assistance?
Not of this case.
Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance contributed to her behavior, which would include, sir, not taking prescribed medication?
It might be. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, but based on your observations, you do not believe, or you do believe, that some kind of substance might have contributed to her behavior?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Matos, do you have any questions for Mr. Gomez Rodriguez?
Just one. Mr. Gomez, you said that you were not scared of Miss Cruz Fernandez. My only question is, if something like this would happen again, would you feel comfortable enough calling the police?
Yes.
Would you like the court to assign non-hostile contact between the two of you?
Let me make sure what I read in here. Yeah, that's okay. That's the one that I was asking for.
Well, Your Honor, based on the statements of the victim, I would like to ask the court for non-hostile contact between the two, and also to ask for my client to be interviewed for PTR.
Okay. I just have a couple questions, sir. It's indicated on what was stated to corrections that that she is no longer living at the residence. Is that correct?
She's been living with me all the
Okay.
time until
But
she was arrested.
right now, has she moved out?
No, not yet.
Okay. Or have you moved out? Because I'm getting information that she told corrections that you said that you're no longer moving with her.
Well, we have a contract together. We have a leasing on the new apartment, and we were on the moving on right now.
Okay, because yeah, I mean the situation revolves around being with a U-Haul and some moving, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Your Honor.
So, is it your intent to continue to stay with her?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And has there been any other, not that police have been involved, but has there been any other physical altercations between the two of you in your relationship?
No.
None whatsoever?
No.
And you're not in fear?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And I know, Mr. Matos, you don't have the benefit of speaking with your client, but it seems as though I'm just a little confused as to what she's talking about. I don't know if she just doesn't want to have contact as to corrections. So I don't know. I'm just confused here as to if she's intending to not want to have contact, then I'm inclined to not have.
I understand, Your Honor. Ms. Cruz Fernandez, can you hear me? Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Would you like to have contact with Mr. Gomez?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order non-hostile, non-violent contact. Ms. Cruz, that means that you are not to get physical in any aggressive manner. That means you're not to hit him, touch him inappropriately, get in his face, go at him with any knife or any other weapon, throw anything at him. You're not to say mean things to him or be disrespectful. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances or any alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Will she qualify for pretrial release now? Okay, so I'm going to place her in pretrial release and make sure that you comply with the court order as well as what pretrial release requires you to do, ma'am. She should be ready to be picked up in a couple hours, so you can call back corrections if you want to come and get her. I don't know what time she'll be ready, and you'll be waiting for hours if you wait here.
I don't have a car on the moment.
Okay.
So I will have to be waiting for a phone call.
Yes.
I'll be handling the situation with the car.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I will
Thank
be
you,
on, ma'am.
sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Jonathan Rios.
Miss.
Riano.
Okay, Mr. Riano, you're here in 2020 CF 9282AO. You're arrested for tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement, trespass in a dwelling, and battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause. We do have a witness here. Ma'am, do you need the services of the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor, she does.
Okay. So, Mr. Interpreter, I don't know if it's easier for you to have the defendant take his headphones off because you'll be translating it for
Yes,
Oh.
Your Honor. I'll be doing it consecutively over the speaker.
Okay, so you want me to have him take his headphones off?
I already instructed him, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, and good morning, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please?
Buenos días, señora. Por favor, levante la mano derecha.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Jura decir la verdad, solo la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down.
Baje la mano.
And can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Dígame su nombre y deletree su apellido, por favor.
Francis Marlene Vivas Flores.
Francis Marlene Vivas Flores.
All right. And Ms. Bush, did you wish to inquire or did you want me to do that?
With
Licenciada,
the
¿desea
interpreter
indagar?
cases, if Your Honor would be so kind.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Vivas, how do you know Mr. Riano?
Señora Vives, ¿de dónde conoce usted al señor Riano?
De mi trabajo.
From work.
Okay.
Y éramos pareja.
And we were a couple.
Okay. And you're not together any longer, is that correct?
Y ya no están juntos, ¿correcto?
No, correcto.
No.
Are you afraid of him?
¿Siente usted temor de él?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Bush, did you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Matos?
Licenciada, ¿tiene usted
No,
alguna
Your Honor.
pregunta? No, señor Matos, no.
Hold on. Well, you got to wait for him to finish translating.
No.
No? Okay.
No, señor. Bien.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. Mr.
Bien,
Riano,
gracias,
I'll
señora.
have you sign the no contact order, please.
Emitirá una orden de prohibición de contacto con la víctima. Señor Riano firmará la orden de prohibición de contacto.
Did you understand everything on that form, sir?
¿Entendió todo lo que consta en ese formulario, señor? Yes.
You're to maintain a separate residence.
Debe buscarse otro paradero.
You're not to return back to the victim's residence.
No puede regresar a la vivienda de la víctima.
You're to abide by the trespass warning that you were issued.
Debe acatarse a la advertencia que le dieron por entrada ilícita.
You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
Se le prohíbe la tenencia de ningún tipo de arma ni municiones.
I am going to place you in pretrial release.
Se le emitirá la libertad provisional.
You need to make sure you comply with my orders and pretrial release. If you violate any of those orders, your release may be revoked.
Debe cumplir con mis órdenes y con las condiciones de la libertad provisional. Si usted incumple con cualquiera de las dos, se revocará la libertad que se le ha emitido.
Did you understand everything that I just explained to you?
¿Lo entendió todo, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Bien, gracias.
What? Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Eric Sepúlveda Torres.
Eric Sepulveda Torres.
All right, Mr. Sepulveda Torres, you're here for an arraignment. The public defender was previously appointed in your case. In 2020 MM 4437AO. It looks like the state filed an information in your case charging you with resisting an officer without violence, which is a misdemeanor of the first degree, and driving while license suspended. It's a misdemeanor of the second degree. These were alleged to have occurred on June 15th, 2020. And are you on probation, sir?
No.
Okay. Do we know if there's any other related felony case?
There is not, Your Honor.
Okay. And was there an offer, Ms. Bush, to resolve the case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm
And
showing
the-
49 days in.
And the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 60 days, Orange County Jail. Do not drive without a valid driver's license and court costs.
All right, let me just take a look at the driving history real quick and see if this is a good idea.
And the state could not find an additional driving while license is suspended. The license was suspended or revoked for an 893 suspension.
Okay, I don't have a driving record up here. Do we have a driving history or know if he has any? I don't have a face sheet or anything, so I can't tell whether or not this would habitualize him. I'm sorry? I don't have it up here. It was not printed out. Thank you so much. All right. So I am showing a prior driving while license suspended pled out on June 27th, 2018. And there is a DUI as well, 2013. And also a DUI in 2013. All right, so, wait, this is Jesus Arriaga Vasquez.
Your Honor, the state has
I have
a driving history in front of me.
This is not Eric Sepulveda Torres. I don't have the right driving record. That would be. Yeah.
And Your Honor, the state can print this for you.
Okay, thank you. Huh? Yeah, but I don't know if it's active. Is it updated?
It's in the chapter case. It's from 7-2.
Is
All
that
right.
the driving record? Your Honor?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got one, I think, from the CT case. All right. All right, so I show no prior driving while license suspended cases. Ms. Bush, is there a reason for the 60-day offer?
The facts that are alleged in the resisting with communication with law enforcement officers, that was the resolution that the state is conveying. And those facts being that a traffic stop was attempted. There was an acceleration of the vehicle, and then Mr. Sepulveda exited the vehicle, began running through a motel, and ran through the motel, jumped over a fence, entered the woods, where law enforcement had to search for him and found him hiding in the woods, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sepulveda, did you want to accept the state's offer of 60 days? You have credit for 49 days time served. Is he able to hear?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And I have to explain to you that driving while license suspended is an enhanceable offense. So if you get 3 convictions or adjudications withheld within 5 years, your license will be suspended for 5 years. So this is strike 1. So if you get 2 more within a 5-year period, you can lose your license. If you get 2, the third one can then become a felony. Do you understand?
Sí, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you read the plea form before you came into court?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand everything on the plea form?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
No.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavits in both the CT case as well as the MM case. I am going to adjudicate you guilty on each count, sentence you to 60 days in the Orange County Jail with 49 days credit for time served. Those counts will run concurrent. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. I'll order that you pay your court costs by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentences of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you, sir. Good luck. Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Noel Jesús Arriega.
Okay, sir, you're here in 2020 CF 8995AO. You are arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for robbery with a firearm and 2 counts, or an aggravated battery with a firearm and aggravated assault with a firearm. And I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. We're going to go back to that one. You've also got 2020 CT 1990AO, and that's a failing to appear. And you failed to appear for your arraignment. The judge did give you a bond of $750 in that matter. Does he have the public defender? Do we know in that case? I'm going to appoint the public defender in that case as well. I can also revoke on that, so I'm going to make that decision in a little bit. It's an out on release case. So, Ms. Bush, did you wish to be heard as to bond on count 1 on the robbery with a firearm?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to take into consideration the sworn affidavit to issue the arrest warrant. In that affidavit, the victim, who Mr. Arriaga Vasquez is personally known to, stated that Mr. Arriaga Vasquez was one of 6 individuals that did strike him with the handle of, pointed a firearm at him, told him that he was going to kill him, and struck him with the firearm, and struck him multiple times after taking, or in order to take his money. The state would ask the court to find that proof is evident, or presumption is great, that Mr. Arriaga Vasquez is the individual so identified by the victim in this case, and hold him at no bond regarding this matter.
All right. Mr. Matos?
Your Honor, the defense would like to reserve this for Arthur here in downtown and leave this at the court's discretion at this moment.
Okay. I do find, based on my review of the affidavit, that proof is evident or presumption is great. I am going to hold Mr. Arriaga Vasquez at no bond on count 1. Count 2 will remain at $10,000. Count 3 will be $150,000. Mr. Arriaga Vasquez, you are not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you are not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, as named in the affidavit. As it relates to 2020 CT 1990AO, I'm going to stay that bond at the $750. I'm not going to revoke his release on that matter. And you'll be able to have a bond hearing downtown, Mr. Arriaga, with your attorneys, and you can contact them at the number on that piece of paper, sir. Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Ángel Enrique Duarte Porras. Enrique Duarte Porras.
Ángel Enrique Duarte Porras.
Sí.
All right. Good morning. And you are here in 2020 CF 9262AO. You're charged with attempted burglary of a conveyance. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victim or witness in the case. And it
Can I say
doesn't.
something?
I would not talk about the facts of the case, Mr. Duarte. You'll have an opportunity to talk about that with your attorneys. If you have a question about this proceeding, I can try and answer that for you. But if you want to talk about what happened or did not happen, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and probably will be used against you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So, again, no return, no contact with any victims or witnesses. I am going to stay the bond at $3,500. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, Vera Franco, bonded.
Okay. Thank you. We'll take no action. Do you need that case number, Mr. Interpreter, or?
If you would be so kind, Your Honor.
Sure. 2020 CF 9276AO, and that was Vera Franco who bonded.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Luis Villanueva.
Good morning. Luis Villanueva.
All right, Mr. Villanueva, you're here in 2020 CF 9260AO. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I don't see why he would not qualify for pretrial release. Mr. Villanueva, where are you living right now? Do you have a home?
Vivo con mi primo en Milenio Palms, aquí en la Texas Avenue.
I live with my cousin at Millennial Palms on Texas Ave.
Okay, do you know that address?
Correctamente no me la sé, pero tengo en mi propiedad, en mi teléfono, tengo la dirección correcta.
I don't remember the exact address, but I have it down on my phone.
Okay, how long have you been living there?
2 meses y medio.
2.5 months.
Okay. And are you working?
Estuve trabajando en Taylor Farm, una compañía de sándwiches, de producto de comida, pero hoy empezaba mismo en una construcción ahí en la plaza donde me arrestaron.
I was working at a sandwich and food place, and today I had just started working at a construction site right there at the plaza where I was arrested.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Villanueva, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. I need to make sure that you understand that you need to show up to court for any future court dates. If you do not show up to court, you will get a warrant, and it may be that you will be held at no bond if you do not show up to court. Do you understand?
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
All right, I'm going to order that you get in touch with the public defender's office and provide them with your address, as well as the clerk's office within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
That's how you'll get notice of any court dates, okay? If they don't have your address, then you may not get notice, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. Thank you.
Gracias a usted.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have one that the victim needs Spanish. Cervantes.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Interpreter, the defendant apparently does not need the interpreter, but the victim does.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, ma'am?
Buenos días, levanta la mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Jura decir la verdad, solo la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Alejandro Cervantes.
Buenos días, señor. Dígame su nombre, por favor. Alejandro Cervantes.
Mr. Cervantes, you're here. You were arrested in 2020 CF 9239AO.
Bien, señor. Se encuentra aquí por el caso 20 CF 9239.
For aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence.
Por intimidación calificada con armas de fuego en violencia doméstica.
I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Determino que existe indicio de criminalidad y se le asignará defensor público para que lo represente.
And then we do have a witness. She's been sworn in. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name, please?
Buenos días, mi nombre es Juliana Uzcategui.
Well, ma'am, you're going to have to wait for him to translate if you need the interpreter.
Okay.
Bien, señora, si necesita el intérprete, tiene que esperar que yo termine. Dígame su nombre, por favor, deletreando su apellido.
Juliana Uzcategui. Uzcategui.
Juliana Uzcategui. Uzcategui.
All right. And then, Ms. Bush, did you want to inquire of the witness?
Licenciada, ¿desea indagar de la testigo?
Yes, Your Honor, because she was present this weekend as well.
Sure.
Sí, señoría, porque estuve presente este fin de semana también.
Ma'am, what is your relationship with Mr. Cervantes?
Señora, ¿cuál es su parentesco con el señor Cervantes?
Él es mi novio, mi pareja.
He's my boyfriend, my partner.
And you all reside together?
¿Viven juntos?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you afraid of Mr. Cervantes?
¿Siente usted temor del señor Cervantes?
No.
No.
How long have you been with Mr. Cervantes?
¿Hace cuánto está usted con el señor Cervantes?
Casi año y medio.
Almost a year and a half.
And over that year and a half, has there been any kind of violence between the two of you?
¿Y en el transcurso de ese año y medio ha habido algún evento de violencia entre ustedes?
No.
No.
Do you all reside together?
¿Viven juntos?
Sí.
Yes.
Does anyone else live in the home with you?
¿Vive alguien más en la casa con ustedes?
Es su papá, el dueño de la casa.
His father, the owner of the house.
Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance contributed to Mr. Cervantes' behavior?
¿Cree usted que el alcohol o algún tipo de droga o sustancia regulada tuvo algo que ver con el comportamiento del señor Cervantes?
El alcohol. No
Alcohol.
toma más nada. O sea, el
Y-
alcohol. Ese día tomó alcohol.
He doesn't take anything else, but that day he drank alcohol.
And if something like this were to happen again, and you felt that your safety was threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Y si algo parecido a esto volviese a ocurrir en un futuro y usted se sienta amenazada, ¿llamaría usted a la policía?
Lo que pasó fue que tuvimos una discusión todo el día y yo cuando llamé a emergencias, yo estaba demasiado histérica, estresada y dije una cantidad de cosas que bueno, que ya cuando llegó el oficial yo le aclaré las cosas, que fue lo que dije el día de ayer.
What happened is that day we had been arguing the entire day, and by the time I called the emergency line, I was hysterical, I was stressed out, and I said a lot of things that when the officer showed up, I tried to clarify, like I said in the statement.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
My question is, if something like this happens again, and you felt that your safety was threatened, would you call law enforcement for assistance?
Bien, señora, pero mi pregunta es, si algo como esto vuelve a ocurrir en el futuro y usted se siente amenazada o siente su seguridad amenazada, ¿llamaría usted a la policía para que la ayude?
Sí.
Yes.
I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
No tengo más preguntas. Gracias, señor.
Mr. Matos, any questions for
Señor
the
Mat-
witness?
Yes,
Señor
Your
Matos,
Honor.
¿alguna pregunta para la testigo? Sí, su señoría.
Uscater?
Buscate, sí.
Scottery. Mr. Scottery, you just said that you said a lot of things. My question is, did he threaten you to go get a gun?
Señor Uzcategui, usted acaba de mencionar que dijo muchas cosas. ¿En algún momento él la amenazó a usted con agarrar un arma?
No, él nunca de amenazarme ni de apuntarme con el arma.
No, he never threatened me nor pointed at me with a gun.
So do you want to have contact with Mr. Cervantes?
¿Desea usted tener contacto con el señor Cervantes?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Cervantes, do you wish to have contact with Miss Uzcategui?
Yes, of
Señor
course.
Cervantes, ¿desea usted tener contacto con la señorita Uzcategui? Sí, por supuesto.
Your Honor, based on the statement and the information we gathered from the victim and as well from my client, I would ask at this point that the court finds for a non-hostile contact order between the two. And I
dado
can't-
counsel. Dado el testimonio de la testigo, al igual que el testimonio del acusado, quisiera pedir en este momento que se emita una orden de prohibición de contacto hostil entre ellos.
That'll be all, Your Honor.
Eso sería todo.
All right, thank you, ma'am, for your testimony today. I do know that you've been here twice, and I appreciate you coming to court to testify.
Gracias, señora, por estar aquí presente. Sé que ya ha tenido que venir 2 veces y le agradezco por comparecer hoy y dar su testimonio.
Based on my review of the affidavit, however, I am going to order no contact today, and that can be changed at a later date in writing by a judge downtown.
Pero basado en lo que he leído en el affidavit, voy a emitir una orden de prohibición de contacto. Eso puede cambiar más adelante a través de una orden judicial de un juez en el centro.
Do you know if he has any other firearms in the residence or anywhere else?
¿Sabe usted si él tiene alguna otra arma dentro de la propiedad o en algún otro sitio?
No.
No.
Okay. And so, Mr. Cervantes, I'm going to have you sign the no contact order. I think you may have signed it. Did you understand everything in that form, sir?
Yes, the only thing that we work together.
Okay.
Bien, señor Cervantes, se le ha entregado el formulario de la orden de prohibición de contacto. ¿Entendió todo lo que consta en ese formulario? Sí, lo entiendo, pero la única duda que tengo es, nosotros trabajamos juntos
And when
todos
you,
los días.
when you say work together, what do you mean by that? And let him interpret and then answer.
Cuando dice trabajamos juntos, ¿a qué se refiere con eso?
We're painters.
Somos pintores.
And so you work as painters together on specific jobs?
Trabajan como pintores juntos entonces en trabajos específicos.
Yes, that's correct. But right now we're working in Tampa from Monday through Friday.
Correcto, y por el momento estamos trabajando en Tampa de lunes a viernes.
Okay. Well, until this order is changed in writing, you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with her. Do you understand that?
Bueno, hasta que cambie esta orden, usted no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con ella, ya sea directa o indirectamente. ¿Lo ha entendido?
Yes, and when can I try and get that in writing?
Your attorneys will have to file a motion, and Mr. Matos, I'm sure he's going to contact your attorney today and let them know that you want them to file a motion to modify the contact order. Okay?
Bien, ¿y cuándo puedo recibir eso por escrito? Su abogado radicará el pedimento y le informará a usted para que usted sepa entonces cuándo se podrá modificar esa orden de prohibición de contacto.
You're to maintain a separate residence.
Debe buscarse otro paradero.
You may return one time with law enforcement to get personal belongings that you may need.
Puede regresar una sola vez junto a las autoridades para recoger sus pertenencias.
No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition.
0 armas, 0 municiones.
No alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription.
0 alcohol y 0 drogas a menos que sean recetadas por un médico.
If you have any other weapons or firearms at all in your possession or anywhere else, you'll need to surrender them to law enforcement within 6 hours of your release from the jail.
Si usted tiene alguna otra arma, debe entregársela a las autoridades dentro de un plazo de 6 horas del momento en que salga de la cárcel.
And I'm going to place you in pretrial release with random urinalysis, so no drugs or any alcohol.
Y se le emitirá la libertad provisional sometiéndose a análisis de orina al azar, así que 0 alcohol, 0 drogas.
You'll be released today, okay?
Yes,
Usted saldrá hoy, ¿bien?
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
And I believe Mr. Curti Decalvaro, it says Portuguese, but in the affidavit he indicated that to law enforcement that his preferred language was Spanish, so I'm not sure if he's able to use the Spanish interpreter.
Yes.
Well, the person is on the outside, just like that.
Okay. Do you need the Spanish or Portuguese, sir?
Portuguese.
Okay. Well, I think we have the interpreter on the line. Okay. And I want to ask, is anybody else, if you could, Mr. Interpreter, if you could ask anybody out in the audience if they need the Spanish interpreter to raise their right hand to be sworn in?
Sure thing, Your Honor. ¿Alguien más en el público necesita... Don't worry, Your Honor, I got you. ¿Alguien más en el público necesita el intérprete de español para testificar? Si es así, levanta la mano.
All right, I don't see any hands raised. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter. I appreciate your help. Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, before the interpreter leaves, this morning, the victim in the Mixon case, the Gordon case, and the Perez case said that they needed interpreters, but I'm guessing they changed their minds.
Okay.
May I have just one moment, Your Honor?
Are you still on the line, Mr. Interpreter? I think that he may have hung up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think he
Thank
hung
you,
up
Your
anyway.
Honor. Okay.
Good morning, this is Judge Wish. Is this the Portuguese interpreter?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Paulo Lara, Portuguese interpreter.
All right, it is very difficult to hear you. I don't know if there's any way that you can get a little bit closer to the phone or microphone and louder.
Can you hear me better now?
That's a little better, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, can you state your name and your ID number and whether you've been sworn in today?
I haven't been sworn in yet. My name is Paulo Lara, Portuguese interpreter.
I think you trailed off there.
Paulo, Paulo, last name Lara, Lara, Portuguese interpreter.
And do you have an ID number?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, this is not the language line. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're downtown or somewhere? Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. And then can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to translate from English to Portuguese and Portuguese to English to the best of your ability?
Hello?
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 Hello? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you swear to translate from English to Portuguese, from Portuguese to English to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do. Paulo Lara, Portuguese interpreter.
Okay, thank you. And good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Bom dia, você pode dizer o seu nome, por favor?
Bom dia, meu nome é Pablo Curti de Carvalho.
Good morning, my name is Pablo Curti de Carvalho.
All right, sir, you're here in case number 2020 CF 9270.
Senhor, você está aqui hoje de manhã no caso 2020 CF 9270.
You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling, and I do find probable cause for that offense.
Você foi detido devido a ter invadido
You're cutting in and out, Mr. Interpreter. We cannot hear you.
Você está sendo acusado de ter invadido um domicílio e eu tenho evidências suficientes para comprovar isso.
All right, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case.
Could not hear it because it was.
You keep cutting in and out, so I don't know if it's your phone, but.
I apologize, Your Honor.
What do you need me to say again so that he can hear?
What you just said before.
Okay.
After mentioning the burglary.
All right. So I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender.
Eu encontro evidências prováveis e eu vou nomear advogado do Estado.
You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case.
Você não pode ter contato com nenhuma das vítimas ou pessoas envolvidas neste caso.
You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred.
Você não pode retornar ao local onde o evento ocorreu.
Okay.
Okay.
And your bond will be stayed at $5,000.
E a sua fiança será estipulada em $5,000.
Thank you, sir.
Obrigado, senhor.
All right, and I believe that was the only Portuguese that we had. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. May the interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so the victim is Vietnamese.
Okay, which, in this case, the fam, okay.
Are we going to the Vietnamese?
Yeah, we're, Madam Clerk is gonna get the interpreter on the line. But he speaks English, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good morning. This is Judge Wish. Is this the Vietnamese interpreter?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Vietnamese.
Okay. And have you been sworn in?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you swear to translate from English to Vietnamese and Vietnamese to English to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so I have a defendant here for a domestic violence case. He does speak English. It's the victim that needs your services.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm going to ask that you interpret the entire proceeding so that she understands what's going on, okay?
Yes.
Okay, and first I'm going to have you swear her in. So, ma'am, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please?
Xin vui lòng chị đưa tay phải lên để tuyên thệ đi ạ.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Chị có dám tuyên thệ những lời khai sau đây là sự thật, chỉ sự thật không thôi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She can put her hand down.
Rồi để tay xuống đi.
And if you could let her know that she needs to wait for you to finish translating before she answers if she needs the interpreter services.
Okay. Nếu chị cần người thông dịch thì chị phải chờ người thông dịch xong rồi chị nói nha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Xin chào ông cho biết tên của ông đi.
My name? My name is Victor Fong.
Tên tôi là Victor Phong.
Mr. Pham, you're here in case number 2020 MM370AA.
Thì ông ở đây được xử trong cái hồ sơ là 2020 MM370AA.
You were arrested for domestic violence battery.
Thì ông bị bắt và bị phạt cái tội là như là hành hung trong gia đình.
I do find probable cause for that offense, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Thì tôi thấy là cái hồ sơ này nó có công nhận là có chứng cứ, thành ra tôi sẽ cấp một người luật sư miễn phí để đại diện cho ông.
And now I'm going to take some testimony from the witness. Ma'am, can you state your name for me and spell your last name?
Bây giờ tôi sẽ lấy cái lời khai của người làm nhân chứng. Chị ơi, chị cho biết tên và cái họ của chị đi.
Dạ. Em tên Rosie Doe. Rosie, my first name R-O-S-I-E and last name Doe, D-O.
All right, ma'am, if you're going to need the interpreter, you're going to have to speak in Vietnamese. If you don't need the interpreter, then I will not use the services and we will not use the expense. So do you want the interpreter or not?
Yeah, we need.
Bây giờ nếu mà chị cần người thông dịch thì cho nó tiếng Việt, còn nếu mà không cần người thông dịch thì cho nó tiếng Anh trực tiếp thì đỡ tốn thời gian và đỡ tốn tiền mướn thông dịch. Chị muốn làm sao?
So you need to speak in Vietnamese.
I need an interpreter.
Okay, but she's not speaking in Vietnamese, so I need her to speak in Vietnamese.
Nhưng mà chị cần phải nói tiếng Việt chứ đừng có nói tiếng Anh nha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and so it's Rosie Pham, is that correct?
Tên là Rosie Phạm phải không?
Rosie Doe.
Rosie Doe.
Okay, Miss Doe. And Miss Bush, did you want me to inquire?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Miss Doe, how do you know Mr. Pham?
Chị làm sao biết ông Phạm vậy?
Dạ, tụi em chung sống với nhau đã 28 năm rồi anh.
Well, we've been living together for 28 years.
Are you afraid of him?
Chị có sợ ông ta không vậy?
Dạ không.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to have contact with him through the pending of this case?
Trong hồ sơ đang xử chưa có xong, chị có muốn tiếp tục liên lạc với ông ta không?
Dạ.
Yes.
Has there been any violence in your relationship prior to this incident?
Trước khi cái vụ này nó xảy ra hồi trước á, có những cái sự bạo động gì không?
Dạ không.
No.
Do you think that drugs or alcohol had any involvement in what happened?
Những cái chuyện mới xảy ra chị nghĩ là nó có liên quan tới rượu bia hay thuốc xã hội gì không?
Dạ chỉ có em nghĩ thì uống bia thôi.
I believe that there was beer involved in this alcohol.
And if something like this, or you felt threatened, were to happen again, would you feel comfortable calling law enforcement?
Nếu mà những cái chuyện này mà nó có xảy ra nữa đó, chị có cảm thấy được thoải mái để gọi cảnh sát không?
Dạ được.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Bush, did you have any additional questions for Ms. Doe?
Bà Phước có câu hỏi gì cho bà Đỗ hay không? Thì bà ta nói có.
Ms. Doe, are there any other children that live in your home besides your 16-year-old daughter?
Có những đứa con nào khác ngoài cái đứa bé 16 tuổi ra không vậy? Ở trong nhà đó?
Dạ không. Em có 2 đứa con gái lớn đã có gia đình ở riêng rồi.
No, I have other two older adult children, and they already married and they move out already. So.
And Miss Doe, do you have any concerns about your 16-year-old witnessing violence between her parents that causes her to call law enforcement?
Chị có cái sự lo lắng gì cho con gái mình không? Cái cháu 16 tuổi khi thấy những cái bạo động trong gia đình mà cháu phải gọi cảnh sát đó, chị có những cái sự lo lắng gì cho cháu không?
Dạ em cũng có lo lắng, nhưng mà em có nói chuyện với cháu rồi, thì đó là chuyện người lớn thì để cha mẹ giải quyết. Cháu cũng bằng lòng không có sao.
Yes, I do, but I already talked to her, and I advise her that this is between the parents in the family, so please stay away. And she agreed with that.
Okay, so your concern is just that she doesn't interfere, but your concern... I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But your concern is not that your daughter is witnessing violence between her parents.
Chị thì chị có lo lắng là khuyên cháu đừng có nên chăm chú vào cái chuyện xảy ra trong gia đình mà người lớn. Nhưng mà chị không có lo lắng về vấn đề cháu chứng như là thấy những cái chuyện xảy ra tận mắt cháu, chị không có lo vấn đề đó sao?
Dạ thưa có, em có lo lắng. Em cố gắng là muốn cho chồng em một cái cơ hội là để sửa đổi lại, để cha mẹ sống cho đàng hoàng, cho con nó nhìn thấy để mà nó có tương lai sau này.
Yes, I do concern, and that's why I try my best to not let this happen again. And I already talked to my husband that we should do our best, to keep the family together and happy, so that it won't affect my daughter in her future.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rồi, cảm ơn chị.
Mr. Matos, do you have any questions for Ms. Doe?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. Let him...
Ông có câu hỏi thắc mắc gì cho bà Đỗ hay không? Thì ông ta nói có.
Ms. Doe, you've been together with your husband 35 years?
Sir, interpreter, I do apologize. I'm not able to hear you well. Would you please repeat that?
I'm asking Ms. Doe if she's been with her husband 35 years as per the affidavit.
Trên cái giấy mà mình tuyên khai đó thì nói là mình đã ở với ông xã mình 35 năm hả?
Dạ không, có 28 năm thôi anh.
No sir, only 28 years.
And in all those 28 years, there was never any physical violence or any threats of violence between Mr. Fang and you, Ms. Doe.
Và theo chị, ngoài cái vụ này ra thì trong 28 năm qua không có những cái vụ gì khác xảy ra nữa hả? Giữa chị và ông ta hả?
Dạ không, chồng em đúng là một người chồng tốt, một người cha tốt. Nhưng chỉ có lần này là em thấy là tại vì chắc có uống bia, cho nên nóng nảy vậy thôi.
No sir, I mean my husband, he has been a very good husband and has been a very good father. It just the incident took place recently because he had some beers and he could not control his anger. That's all.
Are you scared of Mr. Fan, or are you scared for your daughter of Mr. Fan?
Chị có sợ ông Phan hoặc là sợ cho cái sự an toàn của con gái mình không?
Dạ thưa có sợ, nhưng em đã nói là cố gắng là để cho chồng em một cái cơ hội để thay đổi. Dạ đừng có làm cho vợ con phải lo lắng nữa.
I mean, I do concern, but I spoke to my husband and I told him that I would give him a chance to to fix the problem and be a better person, and it won't happen again.
This is a question to Mr. Fang. Mr. Fang, do you want to have contact with your wife?
Yeah.
Ông Phan có muốn tiếp tục liên lạc với bà xã không? Thì ông ta nói có.
Yes, I want to contact to my wife.
Thì ông ta nói ông ta vẫn muốn tiếp tục liên lạc với bà xã ông ta.
Your Honor, based on the information we received from both the victim and her husband of 28 years, I would ask the court to have a non-hostile contact order at this time. And if at all possible, I would like to know if he's fit for PTR. I don't have enough information on the face sheet.
Thì xin tòa án thì bởi vì theo cái hồ sơ và theo lời hai người kể như vậy đã ở 28 năm thì tôi xin bỏ ra cái lệnh cách ly để họ tiếp tục liên lạc với nhau và bỏ đi cái trường hợp PPR này trong cái hồ sơ ghi rõ.
Alright, Ms. Doe, thank you for your testimony today.
Thì cảm ơn ông đã có cái lời khai bữa nay.
Mr. Pham, I am going to order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the case at this time.
Okay.
Nhưng mà tôi sẽ do nó interpret.
Like now,
Hello?
You need me to repeat
decided
that?
for contact or no contact.
I can't have you all talking over each other. So, Mr. Interpreter, do you need me to repeat what I said?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the case.
Tôi ra lệnh là anh không có được quyền liên lạc với cái người trong cái hồ sơ này trực tiếp hay không trực tiếp. Những người trong hồ sơ này không có được liên lạc.
That can be changed in writing at a later date by a judge.
Tuy nhiên, một chút xíu nữa thì quan tòa sẽ viết một phần bản tường trình có thể thay đổi cái điều lệ này.
You're to maintain a separate residence.
Trong thời gian này là không có được ở chung với nhau.
You may return with law enforcement one time to get personal belongings that you may need.
Anh có thể quay lại cái nhà cũ để lấy đồ đạc riêng của anh với cảnh sát đi cùng.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Trong thời gian này không có được dùng bia rượu hay thuốc xã hội nếu không có to của bác sĩ.
No weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
Không có được dùng bất cứ vật lưu trữ súng đạn hay vũ khí gì cả.
I don't know if Department of Children and Families was contacted in this matter. There was a 16-year-old individual who witnessed the incident.
Tôi không biết là cái văn phòng sở xã hội gia đình và trẻ em đã được báo cáo chưa, là bởi vì trong cái hồ sơ này có một cái đứa nhỏ dưới 18 tuổi, cái là chỉ có 16 tuổi, đứa con gái làm nhân chứng.
So if DCF does have an investigation, you must comply with that.
Nếu mà có cái văn phòng sở xã hội gia đình và trẻ em mà có nó liên lạc đó, thì ông cần phải hợp tác với họ.
I don't see any reason why he would not qualify for
He does
pretrial
qualify
release.
for PTR.
So
Thì ông ta có.
I'm going to order him into pretrial release with random urinalysis.
Thì tôi sẽ ra cái lệnh là thả ông ta ra theo những cái điều lệ ghi rõ ràng.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Cảm ơn ông và bà.
Dạ, cảm ơn bà chánh tòa.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Would I be offered an interpreter today?
Yes, thank you so much.
You have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Next on the list, Your Honor, Mr. Hopkins Ezekiel is medical.
And is it medical, because he was in the hospital?
It's medical, Your Honor.
Okay. So I am going to appoint the public, well, they were appointed yesterday or the 1st. They were appointed on the 1st by Judge Shoemaker already to represent Mr. Hopkins. And so we've got 2020 CF 9184. It was a warrant and probable cause was found previously for 2 counts of first-degree murder. And an aggravated battery as to count 3. And Ms. Bush, counts 1 and 2 are capital offenses. Do you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to take into consideration the arrest affidavit to issue the warrant. In this matter, it is a sworn document. In that sworn document, the facts that are alleged in the document and confirmed by a surviving victim indicate that Mr. Hopkins was at the Windermere home. There appeared to be an attempt to burglarize or steal one of the victim's vehicles. One of the deceased victims went out to confront him and had a bat in hand. And the reason the state is giving these facts is because they come into play as to what Mr. Hopkins' statements were. And Mr. Hopkins ended up with that bat and did use that bat to beat the first decedent to death. When that person's son came out, he followed that son into the home, beat him to death, then beat the first decedent's wife. She is hospitalized. A 10-year-old victim or a 10-year-old house member hid in the closet. Mr. Hopkins was found by law enforcement inside the home, and Mr. Hopkins told law enforcement 2 things. One of his statements was somebody hit him with a bat. That connects Mr. Hopkins to the bat. And the second thing he told them was that he had ingested bleach. The state would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that Mr. Hopkins is the individual that went to the victim's home, beat 2 victims to death, injured a 3rd victim, and the state would ask that the court hold him at no bond as to counts 1 and 2. He is entitled to a bond as to count 3.
Mr. Matos?
Your Honor, at this time we would like to reserve this for Arthur here in downtown and leave bond at the court's discretion.
Okay, I'm going to hold him at no bond on counts 1 and 2. Count 3 will be $50,000, doubling the bond that's set currently. And he is not to return back to the victim's residence. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no drugs, no alcohol without a valid prescription, no contact with any witness, any victim, or any of the victim's family members. Mr. Matos, did you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, good morning. Please tell me your name.
Nolly Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you're here in 2020 CF 9279 AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, false imprisonment, domestic violence, and aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence. If you find probable cause, I'll appoint the public defender. And can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Not you, sir. I'm sorry. There's a
Yes.
witness present. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're going to have to talk a little bit louder. If you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
take the mask off in there, you can. It may be a little bit easier for me to hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Sabrina Spencer, Spencer.
All right, Miss Spencer. And Miss Bush, did you wish to inquire?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Spencer.
Good morning.
What is your relationship with Mr. Edwards?
He's my boyfriend.
Do you all live in the same home?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
Are you afraid of Mr. Edwards?
No.
Do you want to have continued contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
How long have you been together with him?
2 years.
And over the course of those 2 years, has there ever been any kind of violence between the two of you?
No.
And if something like this were to happen again, would you feel comfortable calling law enforcement if you felt threatened?
Yes.
Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance might have contributed to his behavior?
He doesn't drink or use alcohol, so no.
I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Matos?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Spencer, let me restate. You do want contact with Mr. Edwards at this point?
I do.
And based on the affidavit, when the police got to the house, sorry, Your Honor, just give me 1 second. You said that nothing had happened?
That's correct.
Your Honor, based on the affidavit and the statements from the victim, I would ask for no hostile contact at this point.
Is that it? I didn't know if you were, is that it? Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Spencer. I reviewed the affidavit. I'm not going to allow contact today. That will be something that will have to be changed in writing by a judge at a later date. So, Mr. Edwards, I'm going to have you sign the no contact order form. You're not to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses as alleged in the affidavit. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know if you're living together or not. The testimony is that you're not living together based on statements made by the defendant to law enforcement. He said that they did live together at that location and also at another location on Amelia. So I'm going to order that you maintain separate residences. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or ammunition. And if you have any weapons or any firearms, you'll need to surrender those to law enforcement within 6 hours of any release from the Orange County Jail. Your bond on count 1 will be $3,500, count 2 $1,000, and count 3 $1,000. You're out on bond for trafficking in 28 grams or more of cocaine in 2019 CF 14959AO. I am going to revoke the bond and set that at none at this time. You do have Mr. Quintana as your attorney on that matter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to have to get in touch with Mr. Quintana and have them file a motion to set bond for you in that case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
This gun is medical, Your Honor?
All right, I'm going to, is that medical?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to appoint the public defender for Ms. Gunn in 2020 CF 9246AO. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so she was arrested for aggravated assault, domestic violence, battery, and I do find probable cause. I don't see any witnesses present. I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses. She must maintain a separate residence, and she can return one time with law enforcement to get her personal belongings. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Count 1 is $3,500. Count 2 is $500. Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Gregory Hodge.
All right, Mr. Hodge, you're here in 2020 CF 9268AO. You're arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon, domestic violence. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender, and we do not have any witnesses present. I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the case. I'll have you sign the form, please. Oh, okay. Well, that's the brother? Okay. I think his brother's behind him and was also arrested, but there were multiple. Is this Bobby Hodges behind him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna grab Mr. Hodges' case as well. Was that a misdemeanor battery, I believe?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I just wanted to grab that. Sorry?
Gregory, Bobby is the victim of Gregory, and Bobby has a
Yeah, I understand. Yes, yes. All right. So, are you Bobby Hodges?
Yes.
Okay, can you want contact with your brother, Gregory Hodge?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No, not afraid of him.
Okay, do you think drugs or alcohol had any involvement in what happened?
No,
I'm sorry?
I don't think so. I don't know. It shouldn't be violent.
You don't know or you don't think so?
No.
Okay. Ms. Bush, did you have any questions for Mr. Bobby Hodges?
Yeah.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Matos?
No questions here, Your Honor.
I'm still ordering no contact. So, Gregory Hodge, I'm going to have you sign the no contact order. Again, that's no contact with any victims or witnesses. That includes your brother. You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back with law enforcement, you may do so. No alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And you do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Make sure you comply with the court order as well as pretrial release, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. And then I have Bobby Hodges next. All right, so Mr. Hodges, you're here in 2020 MM 645AW. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. And I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender, and I don't believe that we have the victim present. And so I am ordering that you have no contact with the victim in the case. Do you understand everything on the form, sir?
I can't read it. I can't read it.
Do you understand everything on the form?
I can't read it.
You got to speak up, sir.
I can't read it.
You can't read it?
Somebody read it to me.
All right, so I'm ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. That means you cannot call the victim, you can't be in the victim's presence, you can't have anybody else communicate with the victim in any manner either, so that means you can't have your another brother communicate with the victim in the case as well. Do you understand?
Right.
You have to stay 500 feet away from the victim's residence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I still from.
Okay. You're going to also maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back with law enforcement, you can do so. No weapons or firearms or ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you on pretrial release with random urinalysis.
Yes.
Make sure you comply with the court order, sir.
Okay. All
Good
right.
luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Felix Lopez.
Or Mr. Lopez, you're here in 2020 CF 8965AO. You're arrested by a warrant in which probable cause was found for battery by strangulation, domestic violence, cruelty to animals, and petty theft. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. I don't believe we have any witnesses present. I am ordering that you have no contact with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on the form, sir?
Yes, I do. I read it.
Okay. You're to maintain a separate residence from the victim. You may return one time with law enforcement to get personal belongings. The hotel in which you were arrested at, I believe, the hotel where this is alleged to have occurred at, the International Palms Resort. You're not to return back there. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. If you have any weapons or any firearms, you're to surrender them within 6 hours of release from the Orange County Jail. You're also not to possess or have any contact with any animals whatsoever. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Your bond on count 1 is set at $3,500. Count 2 will stay at $1,000. Count 3 is $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Good morning. Sebastian Mancera.
Mr. Mancera, you're here in 2020 CF 9280AO. You were arrested for false imprisonment, dating violence, and battery dating violence. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. And we do not have any witnesses present. So I'm going to order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witnesses in the matter. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond on count 1 will be $2,500. Count 2, $500. I'm going to revoke the release on the pretrial release case, but I'm going to set a bond. So do we know, has that been charged yet? I just see it's a CO. I don't know. Or it's an MO. I'm sorry. It looks like an information was filed on that on the 24th.
Yes.
The breach of the peace, and it's a municipal ordinance violation. So I'm going to revoke the pretrial release and set the bond at $500 on that case.
So that'll have to be paid with the other, correct?
Correct. Thank you, sir. And does he have the public defender on that case? I don't think so. Do you want me to appoint the public defender for you on that matter?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you miss a court date, make sure you don't miss any court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Tell me your name.
Anthony Mixon.
All right, Mr. Mixon, you're here in 2020 CF 9257AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Alasia Jackson, Jackson.
All right, Miss Jackson. And Miss Bush, did you wish to inquire?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Miss Jackson. What is your relationship with Mr. Mixon?
That's my son, Dad.
And do you all live together?
No.
Are you afraid of him?
Yes.
So you don't want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
No.
Is that correct? I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Matos, any questions for Ms. Jackson?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I am going to order no contact with the victim or any witnesses in the case. Mr. Mixon, I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to have any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Ms. Jackson, do you know if he owns any firearms?
No.
He does not, or you don't know?
No. I don't know.
Okay. If you have any firearms or any weapons, you'll need to surrender them within 6 hours of your release from the Orange County Jail. Looks like the Department of Children and Families has been contacted and may be investigating, so you'll have to comply with any DCF investigation if there is one pending. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Count 2 is $500. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning. Tell me your name.
Christopher Moats.
Mr. Moats, you're here in 2020 CF 928-180. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see any witnesses here, so I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign that no contact order. Do you understand everything on that form, Mr. Moats?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence, you can go one time with law enforcement to get your things. No alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Count 2 is $1,000.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Ms. Wilkins, Victoria, is mental health.
All right, we'll reset. All right, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
My name is William Barnes.
Mr. Barnes, you're here in 2020 MM 5610AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. Did you find probable cause for that offense? And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see any witnesses present. I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on the form, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time to the residence with law enforcement should you need to get your personal belongings. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond is $2,500.
Your Honor, could it be lower because I have no money. Everything I get, it has to go to counsel because I got cancer in the bone and in the blood.
I'm sorry. There was a door and I couldn't hear what you were saying, sir. You're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
Could my bond be lowered because I have cancer in the bone and in the blood, and I'm the one who called the police on her because she punched me in my face 3 times.
Okay, well, I don't want you to start talking about what happened or what
Okay.
didn't happen because what you say can be used against you. Mr. Matos, did you want to take some testimony? I don't think that the bond is unreasonable considering his history as well as the facts, but I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to raise your right hand to be sworn in, Mr. Barnes? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Mr. Barnes, do you live here in Orlando?
No, I don't live in Orlando.
Where do you live, Mr. Barnes?
I live in Tangerine, Florida. That's the next city next to Mount Dora, Florida.
And how long have you been living in Tangerine, Florida?
5 years.
In the same residence?
Yes.
And have you been do you have a job in that residence?
Do I have a job? No.
Since you've been in that residence?
No, I do not have a job because I have to go to chemo and stuff.
So how long have you been unemployed?
I've been employed for the last 5.5 years, ever since I had cancer.
And do you have any money saved up?
No, I don't.
Who do you live there in Tangerine, Florida with?
I was living with Trudy Garcia. She was taking care of me. She was my caretaker.
And how do you afford that house or the place you stay?
It's an RV. My nephew bought it and had me living in it.
And apart from your nephew, what other families do you have there in Tangerine, Florida?
I have my sister Carol live in Mount Dora. I have my brother Randy live in Lakeland, Florida.
And out of your family members, would any of them be able to help you with bond?
I don't know. I cannot say because they help me with my cancer medicine and stuff.
And so do you have any like real estate or cars?
No,
Mr. Barnes?
No, sir. I have nothing. I'm a zero.
And you said your nephew that helps you with the house, would he be able to help you with the bond?
I don't know, sir.
How much do you think you can afford as a bond, Mr. Barnes?
I wish I can get out on ROR.
Mr. Barnes.
Yes, sir.
But if the court were to set a bond, is there anything you would be able to afford?
$100.
$100?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the fact that Mr. Barnes doesn't really know if any of his family members will help him, he has no money in his saving accounts, he has no real estate or any cars to sell or any liquid money in his bank accounts, we would ask the court to set the most reasonable bond of $100 that he'll be able to afford so he can get out of jail.
Okay, Mr. Barnes, where are you getting your cancer treatment?
In Lake County, in Leesburg, Florida.
Okay.
I just went to a new doctor.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Jason Clavette.
Mr. Clavette?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're going to have to get closer to one of the microphones
Yes.
so that I can hear you. Okay.
How about that? Is that good?
All right. 2020 MM 5615AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with any victim or any witness in the case. I'll have you sign the form. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons or firearms or ammunition, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond will be set at $2,500. You're also out on release for domestic battery with one prior battery conviction in 2020 CF 7792AO. I'm revoking the release and setting that at none at this time. You do have the public defender or an attorney in that case, so you'll have to contact them to file a bond motion for you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Kwame Ford.
All right, Mr. Ford, you're here in 2020 MM 5618AO. It's a domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. I'm ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with any victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on that form, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to get your things should you need to do so. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Does he not qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, he could be qualified,
He
Your Honor.
would? Okay. I'm going to place you in pretrial release. Mr. Ford, make sure you comply with the court order, okay?
All right.
Good luck. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Erin Gordon.
All right, Miss Gordon, you're here in 2020 MM 5616AO. You're arrested for dating violence battery. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender, and we have a witness. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You'll just have to speak a little louder.
I do.
Thank you. Can you state your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Michelle Fernandez, Fernandez.
Okay. Ms. Bush, did you wish to inquire of Ms. Fernandez?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Fernandez, what is your relationship with Ms. Gordon?
She's my girlfriend.
And do you all live together?
Yes.
How long have you been together?
Almost 3 years.
Over the course of the 3 years, has there ever been any other violence in your relationship?
No, ma'am.
And Ms. Fernandez, I see that you have a shiner on your left eye. Is that a result of this incident, or did you get that previously?
I got that on my own.
Okay. Are you afraid of Ms. Gordon?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to have contact with her
Yes.
while this case is pending?
Yes.
Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance contributed to her behavior?
I do not.
If something like this were to happen again, would you be comfortable calling law enforcement if you felt threatened?
I would be, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Mr. Matos?
Not to the witness, Your Honor. Just one question to Mr. Gordon. Ms. Gordon, would you like contact between you and the victim?
Yes, I would.
Then no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fernandez. Based on my review of the affidavit, I'm not going to allow contact today. That will have to be changed at a later date in writing by a judge, but I'm not comfortable allowing that today. So, Ms. Gordon, I'm going to have you sign the no contact order. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence to get any personal belongings, you may do so with law enforcement one time. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to release you to pretrial release. Make sure you comply with the court's order. If you violate any of the pretrial release conditions, you can be held at no bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Fernandez.
G. Bailey, Paul, mental health.
All right. I'm going to appoint the public defender, 2020 MM 5617AO. And Mr. Matos, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a domestic violence battery. There's probable cause. There's to be no contact directly or indirectly with the victim or any witness. Maintain separate residence. Return one time with law enforcement. No weapons or firearms or ammunition. No drugs or alcohol. Without a valid prescription. The bond is set at $1,500. Please tell me your name, sir.
Yonder Perez.
All right, Mr. Perez, you're here in 2020 MM 5611AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Can you state your name for me and spell your last name, please?
Angelica Cordero.
Can you spell your last name for me, please?
Cordero.
Okay, you may need to get a little closer to the microphone. It's a little hard to hear you. Okay. And Ms. Bush, did you want to inquire of Ms. Cordero?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cordero, what is your relationship with Mr. Perez?
He's my boyfriend.
And how long have you been in a relationship?
Around a year and a half.
Do you all live together?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
I just feel insecure. I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't hear. I didn't hear the answer.
She said that she doesn't know.
Okay.
Ms. Cordero, could you repeat your response and get closer to the mic? Thank you. Are you afraid of him?
He is different person when he is in drugs, so I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Ms. Cordero, right now, while this case is pending, would you feel safer if he wasn't able to contact you?
No.
Do you want to have contact with him?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Mr. Matos, any questions?
No questions from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Cordero, do you think that he has a drug problem?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your testimony today. And so, Mr. Perez, I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence, you need to call law enforcement ahead of time. You cannot go to the residence without them. Do you understand to get anything?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription, no weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. I am going to set the bond at $1,500 plus pretrial release and random urinalysis. So make sure that you comply with the court's order as well as pretrial release. They may test you. All right, thank you, ma'am. Good morning. Tell me your name.
It's Dan Susco, SUSCO, ma'am.
All right. Sir, you're here in 2020 MM 5608AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. I don't believe we have any witnesses here. I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I believe, as I'm told by corrections, that there's currently an injunction in New York in place.
Yes.
So you must comply with any injunction, okay? So here, there will be no contact directly or indirectly. You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence to get any personal belongings, you must be with law enforcement. You're not to...
I live in New York, ma'am. I'm not from here.
Do you live with her?
In New York, not here.
Okay, so if you need to return back to the residence, if she's living there, then you can show the court order. You can go with law enforcement to get your things.
Mhm.
You're not to return back to the Floridian Express Hotel.
Yep.
You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond is set at $2,500. Thank you, sir. Please tell me your name.
Ruben Davila.
Mr. Davila, you're here in 2020 CT 3636AO. It's a failure to appear for driving while license suspended at a pretrial conference. And the bond was $500. And then 2020 CT 3637AO. It's a failure to appear for attaching a tag not assigned to a pretrial conference. And the bond is $100. Did you want to try to resolve? Well, he doesn't have any prior history. Are you going to be able to bond out, Mr. Davila?
I'm not gonna bond out, but when I went to court last time, and they said I didn't have to come back. That's why I never came back.
When did you go to court?
The same day I got arrested. Like, they told me to go to court.
Yesterday?
No, the court, it was like a month ago, like last month.
Okay, so you went to court the same day that you got arrested?
Yeah, no, I got arrested like last month, and then I had court the next day, and they told me that they wasn't gonna do nothing to my license, and
Who is they?
the judge,
Who was the judge?
I don't know her name.
And so they told you never had to come back to court again?
Well, that's what I thought.
So it looks like you were in court with Judge Jewett back in June, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's Steve Jewett, so that's a male. So you were in court with Judge Jewett and the public defender was there with you. And then I guess you said you were going to get your own attorney?
No, I had a public defender.
Right, but the notes indicated that you told the judge that you were going to get your own attorney?
No, I never told her that.
Okay. So that day, when they gave you an order, the court minutes reflect from that day that you were present and you were given a pretrial conference date of July 23rd, 2020. And you signed the court minutes. Do you remember that?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, well, you signed the court minutes for that day, and the date of the court appearance is July 23rd. So when you didn't appear, you got a warrant for your arrest. Do you want to try to resolve the case today? Are you on probation anywhere?
No, I'm not on probation. I can solve it today.
Your Honor, the state's trying to determine whether or not this is related to a pending felony matter.
Okay. Did you get arrested for a felony on the same day as this case?
I don't got no felony.
No felony?
Oh.
I'm looking at the complaint. Let me just load. It's showing the attaching a tag and the driving while license suspended.
And the other matter that I was looking at, there were two other matters. They have both been no billed, so.
Okay. I'm not showing any prior driving while license suspended. It's just operating motor vehicle without a driver's license. And in 2018. Did you have an offer, Ms. Bush? I'm inclined to do credit for time served.
And Your Honor, that would be the state's offer as well, with a no driving without a valid driver's license and possess a validly registered vehicle as far as or registration and tag, Your Honor.
You haven't gotten your license back, have you?
I was gonna go to the DMV and get it the 11th and buy a new one. I was gonna buy a new one.
Okay, well, you'd have to pay all your fines. That's the problem here. So, if you want to resolve your cases today, I would adjudicate you guilty. You would not be able to drive without a valid driver's license, and then you would have to possess a registered vehicle. So you'll have to register your vehicle as well if you want to drive.
Right. I can get everything registered. You know what I'm saying? I can get my license back.
Do you want to do that today, or do you want to post the bonds and go back to court?
I'm not gonna bond out.
Okay, so do you want to resolve your case, or do you want to sit in jail?
No, I'm gonna resolve it.
Okay, did you read the plea form before you came into court?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to advise you that driving while license suspended is an enhanceable offense, so that every time you get it, it gets worse. So this is a misdemeanor of the second degree. If you get another one, it's going to be a misdemeanor of the first degree. If you have 2 priors, the next one is a felony.
Yeah, but it's my first time.
Listen to me. I have to advise you of all these things, so need to listen. If you get 3 within 5 years, you'll lose your license for 5 years. So this is strike 1 within a 5-year period. Do you understand?
Understand.
All right. And you told me that you're not on probation?
Not on probation.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. Do we know the total credit for time served? Is it how many? 5? Okay. So, Mr. Davila, I am going to adjudicate you guilty on each case, sentence you to 5 days with credit for 5 days time served. Those will run concurrent. I'm going to order that you not drive without a valid driver's license and that you possess a registered vehicle only. And I'll order that you pay your court costs and any fees by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning. Tell me your name.
Justin Yeager.
Mr. Yeager, you're here in 2020 CT 4695AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause. And are you on probation or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Did you want to try to resolve your case, Mr. Yeager?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me look at your driving history to see if that's a good idea today or not, okay? All right, I don't see any driving while license suspended or anything. Of that nature. So
This is Mr. Yeager.
Mr. Yeager, you see there's a DUI on the record.
I see it's a suspension. It's not a driving while license is suspended.
Yeah, it's not on yeah, it's just labeled as a suspension. I don't know what that is. It does say that he was arrested previously for the for Duelis, but it doesn't show a conviction for that. I don't know if Ms. Bush, if you had an offer or if you wanted me to resolve it. Looks like he's out on release from a Duval County case for driving while license suspended for financial.
Yeah, they wanted me to get my license and they were going to drop everything.
Well, if you wanted to bond out, you can bond out. You can try to resolve your case in another manner if you don't want to plead today, but I'm not inclined to release you on your own recognizance.
Okay, I'll plead.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the state's offer would be an adjudication, 2 days, Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, do not drive without a valid driver's license, and court costs.
All right, Mr. Yeager, so it's a credit for time served. You can't drive without a valid driver's license. I have to advise you that looks like based on your driving history, this is strike 1. If you get 3 within 5 years, you'll lose your license for 5 years. If you have 2 prior convictions and you get another arrest, then they can file that, the state, meaning they, can file it as a felony. And then, so this is an M2, misdemeanor of the first, second degree. If you get another one, it's a prior with this, and it's an M1, a misdemeanor of the first degree. It just enhances, okay? Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You still want to go forward with the plea?
Yes,
Did you read the plea form before you came into the courtroom?
I did.
Did you understand everything on the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere? I think you said no.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days time served. Can't drive without a valid driver's license. I'll order that you pay your court costs by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
And Nasiba bonded.
You have a booking number, Your Honor?
Lionel Nasiba 2001-6992.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And then we have a couple arraignments, I think.
Who do you have next, Your Honor?
I have no other arrested individuals, but I have Chris Whitaker.
He's medical.
Okay, and he has no attorney, and it's a notice to appear. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Whitaker.
Your Honor, when the state reviewed the clerk's records, it showed that from downtown court, the public defender was appointed on June 30th.
Okay, let me check. I don't show a June. On June 30th, there was a notice setting hearing, and it was.
And in the court minutes, while there's not actually a court dispo, in the proceedings,
It just checked off defense attorney. It doesn't say public defender. On July 29th, there were court minutes, but I'm not showing, nothing I can click on. So I don't believe he was ever appointed, unless it was on the 29th, but I can't look at it.
And Your Honor, I believe I made a copy of the.
Because all it is a notice of setting hearing, and it says defense attorney checked off, but it doesn't say public defender or sent to them specifically the public defender.
And is this is 443? Oh, I'm looking at 443, Your Honor.
This is
I apologize.
364A.
Yeah, this is a different case number.
I'm going to appoint the public defender, and Mr. Matos, you can reset this for another time if you want. And it was medical, correct?
Yes,
Do you want to waive? Do you
Yes,
want to
Your Honor.
enter? Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll do that. Huh? Yeah, we'll give you a date.
Division 83, pretrial August 17th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 6C.
So you can reset it for a plea at any point. All right. Is this Mr. Irving Auguste now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Tell me your name, please.
Irvin Augustine.
All right, sir. You're here in 2020 MM 4649AO, and the public defender was previously appointed in your case. And I'm showing this date did file an information. charging you with petty theft. That's a misdemeanor of the second degree alleged to have occurred on the 24th day of June, 2020. Showing 41 days in. Ms. Bush, was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, and the offer also included 2020 MM 3855 AO. And the state's global offer in both matters is a credit time served offer. Under 4649, the case that we're here on today, he has 41 days according to the state's calculation. In the matter that is not before the court today, in 3855, he has 37 days.
And they're both petty thefts.
And they're both petty thefts. In 4649, the offer also includes no contact with any witnesses, no return to the 7-Eleven at 1 North Roslyn Avenue, abide by all trespass warnings, restitution in the amount of 99 cents, cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $108, and court costs. In 3855, it's an adjudication of guilt, no contact with witnesses, no return to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street, cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $82.59, abide by all trespass warnings, and court costs.
The second one that you said was the 3855 case?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
I had them reversed. Okay. And so the PD does represent Mr. Auguste in both cases. Mr. Auguste, did you hear all of that? Did you understand everything that the state was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to repeat it so that I know that you understand. So you were here in 2020 MM 4649. You're charged with petty theft. The state's offer is credit for time served. You have 41 days in. You would not be able to return back to, looks like the 7-Eleven at 1 North Roslyn Avenue in Orlando. There's also 99 cents restitution. You'd have to abide by the trespass warning, and there's a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $108. And then the other case that they're making an offer to resolve today too is 2020 MM 3855 AO. You have 37 days credit for time served in that case, and you cannot return back to the Walmart. And Ms. Bush, we can put that on the record after, but so that's a credit for time served offer. Again, there is a cost of investigation of $82.59, and you have to not return back there and have no contact with anyone and abide by the trespass warning. Did you want to resolve both your cases today?
Yes, miss. Yeah.
Okay. And I have to explain to you about theft. So theft is an enhanceable offense, which means that every time you get one, it gets worse. It doesn't get better. So these are going to be adjudications of guilt. So you're going to get 2 convictions. So if you pick up another petty theft or any type of theft, the state could charge it as a felony. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The second case is trespass?
I show the second case as a petty theft.
$3855. It's a trespass, so it's not a theft. It was filed on 7/1/2020.
I apologize, Your Honor. I saw the facts of items being recovered and the facts of a theft, and
So is there still
It's still on the second case, there was no restitution because all of the merchandise was recovered.
Okay, so Mr. Augusta, I was a little confused. So the second case is a trespass. So you only have one petty theft, okay?
Okay.
But did you understand what I explained to you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
do you
miss.
still want to go forward with the pleas?
Yes.
Okay. Did you read that plea form before you came into the courtroom?
Oh. Yeah, I read it. Yeah, I didn't read it.
You read it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you understand everything on it?
I didn't read it.
I'm sorry?
I did not read it.
You did not read it? Can you read it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know when you're done reading it.
Okay.
There was a case that was associated with 46 months. The city now building. So he has nothing else.
Huh? The 99 cents is on 4649. Yeah, I think so. 7-Eleven. Yeah. Do you have a
I'm doing a restitution order now.
Mr. Matos, do you feel comfortable going in there and maybe explaining the plea form? Because I don't know if we're moving in any direction.
Yeah, I'll just go
Okay,
across.
that may be helpful because I'm not sure if he's
And
able
go talk to
to
him.
read it and understand it. Mr. Matos, do you want to just stay there with him throughout the plea so that if he has another question?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. August, did you read the plea form and go over it with Mr. Matos?
Yes, miss.
Did you understand everything on the plea form?
Yes, miss.
Did he answer any questions that you had about it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. And are you on probation anywhere?
No, miss.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I do find a factual basis in both of the cases to accept your plea. In 2020 MM 4649AO, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 41 days with credit for 41 days time served. You can't return back to the 7-Eleven at 1 North Roslyn Avenue. Abide by the trespass warning. 99 cents restitution is ordered to 7-Eleven, and there's a cost of investigation of $108 to the Orlando Police Department, and abide by the trespass warning. And in 2020 MM 3855AO, adjudicate you guilty on the trespass. There's 37 days credit for time served, and you can't return back to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. Abide by the trespass warning. And there's a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $82.59. And I'll order that you pay all your court costs and fees by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck, Mr. August.
All right, can I ask you a question?
Sorry?
Can I?
What's going on?
Answer this question, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. August. Good luck. Have a good day.
And Your Honor, may I approach?
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Matos. I appreciate that. All right, good. Yes.
Who do you have next, Your Honor?
Francois.
Francois is medical, Your Honor.
Okay. And so it looks like the PD was previously appointed in 2020 MM 5518AO. And it's medical. Looks like it was transferred. Did you want to enter plea of not guilty, Mr. Matos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you can reset it at any point. So we'll give you a date.
Division 81, pretrial will be September 24th at 9 o'clock in Portland 4E.
All right, and then I've got I have a 33-day motion for Angel Manuel Perea Jr. filed by David Verrett.
And Your Honor, if I may just switch over to...
Sure. I'm showing a notice of non-filing on July 27th.
Yes, there was a notice of non-filing on July 27th.
Okay. So that will be granted. Let me know when you're ready, Ms.
I'm ready,
Wilson.
Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Matos, you ready to? And we only have two, so it's not a big 33-day motion docket today. It looks like the both filed informations too. So 2020 CF 8060 AO Thomas Gregory Walker.
And information was filed on July 31st. Filing ID is 111103826.
All right, that will be denied. 2020 CF 5516 AO Robert Tyson.
And information was filed on July 31st. Filing ID is 111125388.
All right, and that will be denied as well. All right, anything else for the morning?
Nothing further from the state.
Nothing for us either.
All right, and then we'll come back at 1. Okay? Okay. We'll be back.
Till 1 o'clock. You guys up. 12. When y'all coming back? 1 o'clock, man. 1 o'clock, thank you.
I'll be ready when I go to the years forward. Okay. You're going out at 12?
Might be a little bit after that, but yeah.
You gonna eat before you go, or you gonna wait till?
You eat, go ahead and do your thing.
No, because I don't wanna be here struggling by myself. Cause I told me, oh, I live take my.
You get out of here early.
Hope so. No, look like what? Maybe the second half might be better than the first. I'll be right back.
That's she said somebody need another set of prints. The Villa Garcia, somebody had 2 cases. I guess he pled one case and then he need prints for another case. And said somebody need prints.
Can you call him back up?
Is it him?
I don't know.
Who you print earlier?
I had like 4 prints.
She said somebody need another set of prints. Somebody who already printed need another set of prints. She said Garcia. Is it the Villa Garcia? Is his name the Villa Garcia? All right, so it must be.
That's the only Garcia I had.
Okay, so it must be him.
I'm just checking to verify the location, like the one that we're looking for. They probably move some of them. You want me to pick a sheet or what page you want?
Oh, it's a trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer to resolve the case today?
I do, Your Honor, and it takes...
Your Honor, for Mr. Durrell, we have, he has an evaluation for another case going on right now. I think he just said he missed it.
When you say he has an evaluation going on?
Yes, Your
could
Honor.
you be a little bit more specific?
He missed an evaluation with a psych evaluation with doctor. I can just tell you right now. Just give me one
Okay,
second.
so he has not been found incompetent to proceed.
Not yet, Your Honor.
I didn't
So-
have a cell phone. They can hear me?
Have you spoken with Mr. Durrell today?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Durrell, do you know what you're here for?
For trespassing.
Okay, do you know who I am?
You are the judge.
Okay, and did you want to enter a plea today?
What's the offer?
It's, I think, credit for time served. If Miss,
It is not a credit.
it is
for time
not a
served.
credit for time served offer. I'm sorry.
However, taking into consideration that he had just been trespassed from the same location 16 days prior, the state's offer is 5 days Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served, no contact with witnesses, no return to the scene, which is the China Hot Express on South Orange Blossom Trail, abide by trespass warnings, and court costs.
All right, so Mr. Durrell, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Did you want to resolve your case today with that offer, or did you want to go back to court for the case?
No, I'll take that plea for 5 days.
Okay, and so are you on any drugs or medications that would prevent you from understanding what's happening today?
No?
Okay. I'm looking at the case that he's out on release on, Mr. Matos.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I don't see that anyone's ever filed any motions in the case.
Your Honor.
So was that an in-house evaluation that he didn't appear for?
We have. It says
There's
psych
been
evaluation.
there's been no motions filed in the case by your office.
I understand that, Your Honor.
I spoke to Javier, though, the public defender that I was supposed to meet. I went the next day and I spoke to him, and he said he'll email me to reschedule the evaluation.
Okay. So I think he understands what's going on today. Seems quite coherent to me.
I understand that,
I
Your
don't
Honor.
see any reason why he can't resolve the case today if he wanted to do so, considering that there's been no motions or any findings found in any other case.
I understand, Your Honor. I just feel if he pleads today, would that might affect any way that the doctor sees his evaluation.
I don't think that that's going to have any effect on anything, considering your office hasn't filed anything and he hasn't even been evaluated yet.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just wanted
All
to
right.
leave that on the record.
So, Mr. Durrell, the offer's 5 days with 2 days credit for time served, no contact, no return, abide by the trespass warning. And you read the plea form?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, why don't you read the plea form for me real quick when you let me know when you're done. No.
I'll take the guilty plea.
Okay, but did you understand everything on the plea form?
Pretty much.
Okay, what don't you understand?
If I plead no contest, it doesn't change. Does it change the plea that you guys offer me?
So no, when you plead no contest, that means that you are pleading to the case and you feel like it is in your best interest. There's really no difference between guilty or no contest unless there's if there's civil issues involved. Okay, so I don't think that that's the case in this case, but you can enter a plea of no contest. The offer stays the same.
All right, I'll do a no contest.
Okay, did you understand everything else in the plea form?
Pretty much.
Okay, you say pretty much, but so that means that you didn't
Yes.
fully understand everything.
Yes,
so
I do.
what don't you understand?
No, I understand.
Okay. Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
I do.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days with credit for 2 days' time served. You may not have any contact with any victims at the location of 4700 South Orange Blossom Trail. You've been trespassed from there, so you gotta abide by the trespass warning. If you go back, you're probably gonna get arrested again, okay? Don't go back there.
Okay.
And I think that's the China Hot Express.
Yes.
For Miss Bush. Okay, and that's 4700 South Orange Blossom Trail. And if you, I'm going to order that you pay your court costs by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'll take no action on your out on release case. Make sure you get in touch with your attorney and you don't miss anything that you're supposed to be at, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Durrell, good luck. Good morning or afternoon. Tell me your name.
Talisha McMiller Simmons.
All right, ma'am. You're here in 2020 MM 189 AE. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and trespass in a structure or conveyance. And I don't find probable cause for count 1. It doesn't indicate anything was tested or that there were any admissions to what it was.
Yes, Your Honor, and
So I don't know if you had an offer as to count 2 and if you wanted to.
The state also noted that there was no expounding on the training and experience, so the state would ask the court just to find probable cause as to count 2.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, the only way I could. Are you making an offer? Because I can't plea out 1 count at initial appearance. So it would have to be that you either file a no information on it or I just.
No, Your Honor. The state was just saying that the state is not making a request as to count 1.
Okay. So I find PC as to count 2, no PC as to count 1. Ms. McMiller Simmons, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You're not to return back to 2814 West Kennedy Boulevard. Abide by the trespass warning and no contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. Well, she does qualify for pretrial release, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place you on pretrial release. I'm sorry, I didn't see the pretrial release. Huh? Well, yeah, it'll be RO. I can't give her any bond or pretrial release on anything I don't find PC for. So she'll be ROR'd on count 1, PC, or pretrial release on count 2.
And Your Honor, the no return property is the Walgreens. That's located at 2914 West Kennedy Boulevard.
Today? Cool.
2814?
2814.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time seeing through
No,
the
that's
goggles.
okay.
I'm having a hard time figuring out my glasses.
All right, ma'am, so you'll be released today, okay? You got to go make sure you show up to court, all right? And
Yes,
I'll appoint
ma'am.
I'll appoint the public defender.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Kiana Hudson Reynolds.
All right, Miss Hudson Reynolds, you're here on 2020 MM 3228AO.
Failure to
And this
appear.
is a failure to appear for an arraignment on July 29th, 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
You do have a $2,000 bond. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer on the case?
Your Honor, I was unable over the break to get in touch with Miss Jacqueline Boyd, the owner of the property, and I'm not comfortable until I speak with her.
All right, so Ms. Hudson Reynolds, you do have a bond of $2,000. Does she
They're
have the
not
public
gonna. They're not
defender?
gonna R&R me.
No. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. I can't change the KPS. I'm not permitted to change it by law, and the state does not have an offer today because they haven't been able to get in touch with the victim.
Jacqueline Boyd, I've spoken to her. Jacqueline, me and her used to be roommates. The reason why that I was trespassed off the property was because of an issue that she had. But Jacqueline Boyd.
Ms. Hudson Reynolds, I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case, okay?
No, I'm
That's not gonna
saying that
help
she doesn't
you
have.
today.
She told me that she wasn't going to speak at all on the situation.
Okay, so you can get in touch with your attorneys. I've appointed the public defender. They'll be able to file a motion to reduce your bond if you're not able to make the bond, okay?
So I'm not R&R'd.
I cannot change the KPS, ma'am.
Oh my God, I can't stay here. I have a DCF case open. Like, I need to see my daughter. Today's supposed to be the day I was supposed
You're
to see
gonna have
her.
to contact the public defender.
What does that
Okay?
mean?
It means you're gonna have to pick up the phone and
Oh
call the
my
public
God.
defender.
I thought I was gonna get R&R out of here. I can't stay here. You're not sure I'm homeless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Fucking bullshit.
Excuse me? Why don't you come back here?
I'm fucking 20 years old. I got DCF because I can't spend my time in jail. You don't understand. I have a shit. I need a job. I have a job and you understand. I'm trying to get my life together. This is bullshit because I messed up. You understand? I'm trying hard. I'm trying really hard with my daughter. I'm homeless and I gotta stay in jail overnight.
Ma'am, you're not gonna use that language in my courtroom. I understand that you're upset, but you cannot use that language in the courtroom. You're going to need to contact the public
I don't
defender.
understand why I can't just leave though.
You can't leave because I'm not allowed to change the KPS by
What
law.
does that mean? I don't understand, obviously.
Okay, the law is that I can't change the bond. So, Mr. Matos, if you could get in touch with whoever's going to be assigned to the case, and they can file a motion.
That's why I don't understand why it has to be built on case if it's just trespassing. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm 20 years old. I don't get why I don't understand. I missed one call to court.
You missed your court date.
Okay, but my sister only let me know it was once. I don't have a cell phone. How am I supposed to call you to court to appear in court if I don't have a phone? Nobody's letting you.
Now you have an attorney. Now you have an attorney, and you can communicate with them about how you're going to appear for court.
So when is my next court date?
I don't know when that will be, but Mr. Matos is here. He's with the public defender. He will contact your attorney.
So I have to stay in jail.
We've already discussed this.
Yes
I
or
pulled
no?
you back in here because you use language that you're not going to use in my courtroom.
I apologize, but I'm like, you're holding me in jail. I'm not R&R'd.
I don't know what R&R it is, but you mean ROR?
What does that mean?
You're not going to be released today. Thank you.
Why aren't I being released? I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to say. Can you please explain to me where I don't get it?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, ma'am. It's Leonard St. Pierre. Leonard Thomas St. Pierre.
Mr. St. Pierre, you're here in 2020 MO 79780. You're arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for that offense. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer to resolve the case today?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
All right. And so, Mr. St. Pierre, did you want to resolve your case today with credit for time served?
Does that mean I'm getting out today?
Yes. I
Okay.
don't see any other holds on
All
you,
right.
correct?
Thank you. I'd like to resolve it.
Okay. Did you read the plea form before you came into court?
I did.
Did you understand everything on the plea form
Yes, ma'am.
and all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
All right. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days time served. Order that you pay your court costs by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Mr. St. Pierre, you also have reporting requirements, so just make sure you comply with any of those, okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Brandon Wolf.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you're here in 2020 MO 798AO. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
All right, Mr. Wolf, did you want to accept the state's offer?
Yes. Yes. Ma'am.
Okay, did you read the plea form before you came into court?
Yes.
Did you understand everything on it?
Yes.
Understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days time served, order you pay your court costs by August 3rd, 2021. If you'd like to appeal the judgment, sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Please tell me your name.
My name is Yoash Errol, Your Honor.
Mr. Errol, you're here in 2020 CF 9255AO. You were arrested for 2 counts of petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to Antonella's Pizzeria at 360 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park, Florida. You may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses. And I'll stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000. Count 2 will be 150. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question for you.
Yes, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted to know if, since I've not had any failures to appear in the past, if I did qualify for PTR or for ROR. The reason why I'm asking, Your Honor. Go ahead.
You're in on another case, and you have 2 failures to appear previously. I mean, they are one, at least the last one is 2010.
Right.
But you do have another petty theft that is pending, and that's what you're in jail for as well. I'm not going to release you on your own recognizance, and you don't qualify for pretrial release.
And the other one, so this one is not the same one that they just brought me to court for yesterday? You're saying this is an additional one?
I can look up the other case.
Because it was a misdemeanor. That's the only reason why I asked.
It's an add-on. It's a different case. So I can look and see what the other case is alleging. So that's also a theft from the same location. So this is an add-on, so it looks like it's an additional incident. So you'll have to contact the public defender's office, and they can explain to you a little bit more about your case. Right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And so, well, just to clarify, because I had a failure to appear in 2011, and you're saying because there's an additional case that I wouldn't qualify for any sort of PTR or anything like that?
Well, they did not qualify you for pretrial release. It looks like Judge Shoemaker stayed your bond yesterday at $250. So you still haven't, you have these cases all pending. I don't know what else I can explain to you.
No, I understand.
Okay, all right.
Miss Andre is behavior, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to find that her behavior, if she can't behave, is a waiver, and I'll appoint the public defender. 2020 CF 7953AO, and she was arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling, criminal mischief, and theft of utility. And she is not to return back to 2604 Faulkner Road or have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location. Her bond will stay at $5,150 and $150. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Louis Arroyo, ma'am.
Mr. Arroyo, you're here in 2020 CF 9249 AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. You do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. So you're not going to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. No weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to the victim's residence. If you have any firearms or any weapons, you're to surrender them to law enforcement within 6 hours of your release from the Orange County Jail. I am going to place you in pretrial release with random urinalysis, so make sure that you comply with the court's order as well as pretrial release.
Graciano, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Tyler Banks is medical, Your Honor?
Medical.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. 2020 CF 9283 AO, and I'm going to appoint the public defender. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Banks was arrested for burglary of a structure while wearing a mask, possession of burglary tools, and criminal mischief. And I do find probable cause. He's not to return back to 775 North Cimarron Boulevard or have any contact with any witnesses or victims, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. The bond will stay at $5,150 and $100. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Eric Constantine.
Mr. Constantine, you're here in 2020 CF 9253 AO. You're arrested for trafficking in cocaine over 28 grams, under 200 grams, possession of cocaine, and grand theft third degree of a firearm. And I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And you live in Tennessee?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. And are you intending to return back to Tennessee?
I am attending, I would like to, Your Honor. I am in school.
Was he screened for pretrial? Doesn't, it says no. Unable to verify community ties. What do you do? What do you do? Are you unemployed or are you employed?
Right now, I'm unemployed. I was collecting unemployment insurance, but I was going to school to be an electrician.
Okay. And you were going to school or you are in school?
I'm sorry?
Are you in school now?
Yes.
Where are you in school?
TCAT, that is Tennessee Community of Applied Tennessee College of Applied Technology.
Is anybody gonna help you post your bond?
Yes, my wife can help me post bond.
Okay, are you able to afford the bond currently set?
I am not able to afford the bond currently set.
What is the bond that you could afford? What can you afford to post?
I can afford $1,000 on bond.
$1,000?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna set the bond at $50,000. Count 2, I'll reduce to 150. Count 3, 150. If you're unable to post that bond, Mr. Constantine, after speaking with any family or a bondsman, then you'll have to have the public defender file a motion to reduce your bond, okay?
I'm sorry, how much was the bond?
So it's a $50,000 bond on count 1 and 150 on each subsequent account, or count, so it's $50,300. So you'll have to contact the public defender if you're unable to post the bond.
A bond of $5,000, that's what it would be? 5,000?
You'll have to contact a bondsman, but that would be 10% of 50,000.
Okay. Okay, I do have an attorney I am going to retain.
Okay, you can do that, and you'll just have to let them know that the public defender was appointed, so they'll have to substitute in, okay?
Okay, so I'll have to let my attorney know they will have to substitute in?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir. Good afternoon, tell me your name, please.
My name is Roger Curry, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Curry, you're here in 2020 CF 9264AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Where do you live?
I am currently homeless. I've been homeless for like...
Are you staying in Orlando?
Yes, I have a job currently.
Where are you working?
I work through a labor ready.
Okay.
People ready, actually. But the job I've been with has been like 2 years. And this week they was going to actually hire me, but, you know, I unfortunately got caught up in this mess, so.
All right, so no drugs or alcohol. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You need to get in touch with the public defender within 24 hours of your release from the jail, okay? So call that phone number so that they know how to get in touch with you, all right? Okay. Don't miss any court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I definitely appreciate you.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Good afternoon. Sean Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 2020 CF 9266AO. You're arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. So no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna set your bond at 500 on count 1, 100 on count 2. Yes, I'm not taking any action on your out on release case. You do have the public defender. You have a court date coming up in a couple days. Make sure you don't miss court, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Carlos Estes, Senior, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Esters, you're here in 2020 CF 9271AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I just saw you not too long ago,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning today. I'm not going to revoke your release, but if you come back and you've got 2 cases out and then a third one that you get picked up on, it's just probably not going to be a good day for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to stay the bond at the $1,000. Again, I'll take no action on the out on release case. Don't miss any court dates. It looks like you have one coming up on the 13th.
On the 13th of this?
Well, there is a court date set. I don't know if you have to be there or appear by phone or a video. Just get in touch with your attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Tiffany Godin.
Ms. Godin, you're here in 2020 CF 9269AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of controlled substance, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and 3 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000, count 2 150. I'm gonna ROR on count 3 and on counts 4, 5, and 6. I'm not taking any action on the out on release case. Do not miss court. Do not get arrested for anything. If you do, as I told the other gentleman, it may not be a very good day. All right?
Thank you.
And Hinden bonded, it's that 2001-6986.
Yes, Your Honor.
8196.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Marvin Hutchinson.
Mr. Hutchinson, you're here in 2020 CF 2198. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found for burglary of a conveyance, grand theft, dealing in stolen property, and receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to where the theft is alleged to have occurred from, nor are you to return back to the Queen of Pawn. That's 5831 South Orange Blossom Trail. All right, I'm gonna stay. He was not interviewed, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We don't interview warrant arrests unless it's domestic.
Okay. So I'm gonna stay the bond at 3,500 on count 1. Count 2 will be 150. Count 3 will be 150, and count 4 will be 150. All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Hendon, bonded. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Ms. Jarrell refused.
Okay. So Ms. Jarrell refused to come to court. I'm gonna find that to be a waiver. It's 2019 CF 14416AO. It's a failure to appear. For status hearing on June 16, 2020, the judge did revoke the release and set the bond at none. Does she have the public defender? Okay, she has the public defender, and I'm not taking any action on the other cases. Good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Jamari Jean.
Mr. Jean, you're here in 2020 CF 9277AO. It's an aggravated assault with a firearm. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return to 2291 Oshkosh Court or have any contact with any victim or witness, and no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. If you have any weapons or firearms, you'll need to surrender those within 6 hours of any release from the Orange County Jail. The bond is $7,500. You're out on release in 2027 or CF 3009. Looks like that was consolidated with 2020 CF 3028. So I'm not sure which case number, if that's the second case number. So I am going to revoke the release and set the bond at none, and it looks like you have Mr. Fetter representing you, so you'll need to contact him to file a bond motion for you.
I'm not getting that, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I said, can you repeat that? I'm not getting.
I said I revoked your release on your out on bond case. You'll need to get in touch with Mr. Fetter. He's your attorney on that case. He can file a motion to set bond for you in the trial division.
Joseph Johnson is medical, Your Honor.
Medical?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It's 2020 CF 9248AO, and I'm going to appoint the public defender. And Mr. Matos, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry. So it's a possession of cocaine, and I find probable cause. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Dylan Law.
All right, Mr. Law, you're here in 2019 CF 9063AO, and you failed to appear for a trial management conference on June 18th, 2020, and the judge did forfeit your bond and revoked your release. Set your bond at none on all 4 counts. Does he have the public defender?
Ma'am.
You do have the public defender, yes, sir.
I have proof that I was at court on that date. I have paperwork that I checked in at court. So what do I do in this case? Because I was there. I have paperwork saying I was there. I went to the downtown courthouse on the 6th floor. They actually gave me paperwork for my next court date. I was there in court. I checked in. I was there, and it was just turning people around. I guess through this COVID-19 thing. But I was there. I have paperwork. I have proof that I was there in court.
So on 6/5, the court ordered a virtual pretrial conference for June 18th at 3:45 p.m. And that was to be held virtually. I don't think the courthouse was open on that day, sir.
On June 18th?
Correct.
I was there.
Okay, so the court minutes are showing. Did you speak with your attorney on that day?
There was no public defender there when I got there. There was just turning people around. One of the officers had just told me to sit to the side where they were gonna print out me paperwork. And for my next court date, they pushed. I think they gave me my next court date was the November 18th something, November something. But I was there. I sat there. I showed up.
They wouldn't have given you a new court date if they gave you a capias. So they wouldn't get a new court date, and there is no court date in the court minutes. You're gonna have to contact the public defender and explain all of that to them, because I'm showing that this was a virtual pretrial and nobody was there personally at any point. It was a virtual pretrial conference. So my guess is that there was some miscommunication or something, but you're gonna have to contact the public defender, and they'll have to file a motion to see if they can put all of whatever you're saying in writing, and maybe the judge will give you a bond based on that information. But I can't change.
What's the case? So exactly is the case. What exactly is the case? Is it worse, less than?
We're back on, Your Honor.
Oh, we're back on. Thanks, JR. Okay. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So I don't know if you heard me. I'm sorry. Yeah, can I just get that back? So I don't know, Mr. Law, if you heard the last thing that I said. I think you're confusing your two cases. So you did get a court date for November, but it's for the other case. It's for the burglary of a conveyance and petty theft.
Mm-hmm.
This is for a completely different case. So you may just have had them confused. All right. So you're going to need to contact the public defender, and they'll have to file a bond motion for you in this case. But you are right. You do have a court date in your other case in November. All right?
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Good afternoon. Please tell me your name.
Karan Moore.
All right. Mr. Moore, you're here in 2020 CF 9278AO. You're charged with grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. There's not a lot of information in the affidavit, but there is an admission to stealing the vehicle. So I do find probable cause. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness, and no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. It looks like you were already arrested for a burglary to that residence, so you should know the location of that offense, and that was in OCSO case number 20-53444, or sorry, 20-47566, I apologize, on July 29th, 2020. And I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000.
Mr. Moulton bonded, Your Honor.
All right, we'll take no action on Moulton. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name, sir.
Kelvis Rodriguez Tormes.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez Tormes, you're here in 2020 CF 9247AO. You were arrested for a first-degree murder with a firearm, destruction of evidence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. Count 1 is a capital offense. Ms. Bush, does the state wish to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to take into consideration the facts contained within the sworn arrest affidavit. Those facts are alleged and purported through video surveillance, witness testimony, and those facts all point to Mr. Kelvis Rodriguez as being the perpetrator of the shooting that took the life of the victim in this matter. Those facts include the surveillance that shows him coming to the victim's place of employment. They show that he went out of camera view, but a witness saw him engaged in a physical altercation with the victim. And during that altercation, and in the same time span, heard a shot and then saw Mr. Rodriguez and another accompanying person in a different vehicle flee the scene. State would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that Mr. Kelvis Rodriguez is the person that did commit the first-degree murder with the firearm.
All right, Mr. Matos.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would like to reserve this for an author here in downtown and leave it at the court's discretion at this time.
Okay, I've reviewed the affidavit. There is proof evident or presumption great based on the affidavit, specifically statements made by the defendant that were alleged to have been overheard by witnesses saying, "You've got 2 seconds before I shoot you." His wife gave statements as well. He refused to provide the location of the firearm, stated no one would find it and it could no longer be used. He fled the scene and did not call 911. And so I do find that there's sufficient evidence, and I will hold Mr. Rodriguez Tormes at no bond on count 1. And Mr. Rodriguez Tormes, that means that your attorneys will have an Arthur hearing for you downtown, which is a bond hearing, which will be a lengthier bond hearing, and you'll be able to present evidence as well to see if the judge will use their discretion to give you a bond in the case. So you'll need to get in touch with the public defender, and they can do that for you as soon as possible. Count 2, I'm going to set at $5,000. Count 3 at $150. So from the jail, since you're not going to be released today, and your conditions of release, if you are to receive a bond at a later date, may change. However, from the jail, you're not to have any contact with any witnesses in the case, nor may you contact the victim's family. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, and you're not to return back at any point to 7623 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida, the Burger King. Did anyone else have anything else they wanted to place on the record?
Your Honor, the state would ask the court to inquire as to whether or not he possesses a passport.
Mr. Rodriguez Tormes, do you own a passport?
I do not, ma'am.
Okay. So you'll, and this may change at a bond hearing too as well. So if you don't own a passport, you'll have to file an affidavit with the clerk's office before you are to be released, indicating that you do not own a passport. That's subject to perjury, as it should be under oath and notarized, and your attorneys would be able to help you with that. But you'll have a bond hearing downtown, and you'll be able to discuss all of that with the judge who
How
has the case.
soon will that be?
Well, your attorneys could file a motion today. I would call that phone number, and I'm sure Mr. Matos, who's the public defender here, will be getting in touch with your attorney and tell them that you would like them to file a bond motion today. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And my guess is that it's usually 3 business days before a bond hearing would be held, so you'll just have to get in touch with them and see when they can get you a bond hearing, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. And did Mr. or Miss Santiago bond 2001-6989?
She bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And Vega Ortiz is in the hospital.
Okay, we will reset within 24 hours of release from the hospital. All right, please tell me your name.
Zachary Russ.
All right, Mr. Russ, you're here in 2020 CF 3351AO. It's a violation of probation, and the judge did set your bond at none in the case. I am going to appoint the public defender. You'll see Judge Whitehead in a couple days for your arraignment on that matter. In 2020 CF 6840AO, it's also a violation of probation, and I'll appoint the public defender. And again, you'll see Judge Whitehead for your arraignment on that case. 2020 CF 9259AO, you're arrested for grand theft by fraud and fraudulent use of credit cards. And I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. You may not have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. And the bond in that case will stay at 1,000 on count 1, 150 on count 2. And I'll take no action on the other cases at this time. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Bia Franco.
I'm sorry?
I have a case called Vieira Franco Joshua, 2020 CF 9276. Do you guys not have that case?
I'm sure where you're getting.
It was supposed to be the last felony.
What is the last name?
Vieira Franco.
I think we might have done it this morning. Was it Spanish?
It was a Spanish case, but he bonded.
Oh, that makes sense. Bonded.
All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name
What's
is
your name,
David
sir?
Wayne Sawyer.
All right, Mr. Sawyer, you're here on a St. Lucie County warrant, and the judge in St. Lucie County set your bond at $750, so you can bond out. We're not transporting people, or I'm not sure if St. Lucie County would come and pick you up if you couldn't bond out. But I'm going to appoint the public defender here for you so that if you can't bond out, they can file a motion for you. Do you think you'll be able to bond out?
No.
Okay. So there's a judge here that will contact the judge in St. Lucie County to see if they will release you or reduce your bond. And you'll probably come back in a couple days for a status hearing. You may want to reach out to any family or friends that you have. It says that when they arrested you, you had $7,807.25 on your person. So
Correct.
I think you can make your bond.
Immaterial
Okay,
to the case.
I can't change your bond, sir, from St. Lucie. So you'll have to either bond out from the money that you have in custody.
I plead not guilty, ma'am.
Okay, I can't take a plea on a St. Lucie case. Okay, this is Orange County. St. Lucie County is not my jurisdiction. So you'll have to either bond out, or if you cannot bond out, the public defender's office can file a motion for you, or you can wait to hear back from us to see if St. Lucie County will release you. But it appears as though you have plenty of money in custody here that you can bond out, okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Jason Lee Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, you're here on a Lake County warrant, and the judge in Lake County did set your bond at none. And so I can't change that for you, but I can appoint the public defender here. One of the judges here will contact the judge in Lake County to see if they will give you a bond. or release you in some other way. But in the meantime, the public defender here is appointed and they can file any motions to set bond for you. I'm not taking any action on your out on release cases because I don't know what happened in Lake County or when. So you'll have to get in touch with the public defender and you should come back on the docket in about a week, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. All right, was there anything else?
I think that's all, Your Honor.
No? Okay. All right, we are done for the day. Everybody have a good one. Be safe.
I think I'm gonna keep my food up before I pass out.
Yeah, man. I'm taking mine to the crib.
I know I can, you going to right at 3 or you leaving at?
Oh, no, I'm leaving right now.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep right now. I'm back down there over there. If I grind, I don't know. I'm not gonna stand missing meals, but I'm hurting right now. I'm hurting.